Just the last two questions, I'll put them together. Today, the president has threatened to uphold this bipartisan housing bill in exchange for getting the SAVE Act passed. It looks like the so-called SAVE Act is not popular amongst Republicans. It was predicted not to pass. Um, with that in mind, what do you think is going to happen in 2026, and who do you like in 2028?
Boy, 2026 is the more immediate question because I don't want to lean into my anxieties and I don't want to put anything out into the universe that makes me worry. I've got friends who are doomsday say, they're like, oh, we're not going to have free and fair midterms. It's a pipe dream. You're out of your mind, because it's existential for Donald Trump, and it is, and that scares me. And I know that he'll stop at nothing to make sure. I mean, God, just look at the gerrymandering, right? We've seen elections, literally, we've seen votes thrown out in places like Alabama, Louisiana, Texas, etc. I mean, it's scary. And I try not to dwell on that. So if all things are fair and free and fair, and we are able to vote the way that we should be able to vote, and we can get the kinds of turnouts we've seen in places like my gubernatorial election here in New Jersey, and so our special elections that we just had in New Jersey 11, which were massive turnouts, and some of these special elections we've seen around the country. I think that November is going to be a watershed moment. I think that it is going to be a blue wave. It should be, even with just statistically, or according to Harry and the 5 points. I think we have to keep our feet on the gas. We can't let up, and we can't let apathy settle in. But I think that based on what I'm seeing and hearing and feeling in terms of popular sentiment, we should win the midterms. The House handily. The Senate math is very interesting now. A year ago, nobody would have thought that the Senate was in play. It was really bad map for the Democrats, looking back then. But when you look at it now, we've already talked about Graham Plattner. We have an opportunity to flip a seat in Maine. We have an opportunity to flip a seat in Texas. We have an opportunity to get Ohio back. And so I think the Senate could be in play as well. So if I'm being optimistic, I would say both. We would get majorities in both. But if I'm being probably more pragmatic, I would say we should be able to count on the House at the very least. As for 2028, it's an interesting question because I've had this incredible year where I got to interview a lot of people who people expect will be running in 2028. I got to interview Gavin Newsom. I got to meet Josh Shapiro. I got to interview him at his residence in Pennsylvania. And I got to meet Pete Buttigieg. And these are three of the people that are being talked about as potential candidates. And I got to see Wes Moore speak at the first joint appearance between Kamala and Joe Biden after the switch. And I got to tell you, I like all of them for a lot of different reasons. Pete Buttigieg is just absolutely, he transfixes people. Like there's something about him. He's such an amazing orator and communicator. Oh, and there's John Ossoff in the mix. It's exciting to me because I think we have a wealth of really, really capable and inspiring candidates. But I will say the greatest public speaker I've ever seen in my life was Wes Moore, which I did not expect. He was hands down. I was like, oh, this guy is amazing. He just got me all excited in the way the crowd responded to him. But I'm excited to see what happens. I don't know. I don't know what the American people are looking for anymore. I know it's not a black woman at the moment. Unfortunately, we're not ready for that. But I pray to God that we have free and fair elections and that we have a really robust primary with a wealth of really great candidates.